This is part 2 for Stellaris is how to create a mesh. Previously I explained how to download Blender 3.5, download the PDX mesh add-on, download the PolyQuilt, how to install it through Blender by going through Edit, Preferences, and then remembering add-ons. Depending on what it is, just click the install button, go to your directory, and then find that zip file. So pretty much do that, make sure that's set. And if you forgot to see if it's there, I'm going to type in PDX. That's checked. Okay, cool. Another tool that we're most likely going to use is loop tools. So if that's not there, just click the checkbox. It should pop up in official, or it should be in community. So once you look for that, hit the check mark. It should pop up installed as well. And just in case, add extra. Make sure this one's turned on. Once you got those installed, hit save for your Blender file that you opened, or you could use this one. We're going to go forward. So I went ahead and finished the turtle base, or a majority of it. I accidentally deleted the reference, but I kind of do want to extend a little bit more. Remember, you just really want to get to do triangles or square, or not really squares, but quads. So it'll be triangular. I'm just gonna get a little more, just since I use a lot of images for clothing, they all have different sizes. They're not equivalent to the one I drew, so I just give a little something. Technically I could just do this as well. Doesn't hurt. Remember, if you do something like this, just press Ctrl Z and go back. Just gonna fill this up. And make sure you have the snapping tool set to face project and everything, even though I'm not really getting anywhere. See how it's already bending since I don't have anything to follow a flat little baseline. So it's just going to be wonky right now, unfortunately. And that isn't good on Stellaris, so we'll fix it up later. And if it does something like this, making a black mesh and making this vertice like weird, just press Ctrl Z. We'll fix that. I think that's good enough. So once we got all that set in edit mode, if this isn't open right here, press N again, and we're going to go to edit mode. We're going to highlight this turtle base, or whatever your mesh is called, right? Highlight that, and then we should see where is it? Well, hit edit surface. Maybe that's why. And then here we go. Here's loop tools. Click on that and then hit flatten. Hopefully it flattens everything out. And let's see. Yeah. It's fine. Okay, good. With that set, if I were to go object mode, we don't have a material. We could go ahead and make one. Normally you would just hit new, but we could also just ignore this and go straight to the Stellaris' materials. So if this is still up, if you forget, just press N. And then we're going to go to the PDX Mesh Blender Tools. Go ahead and hit create. I call this turtle base. We want this to be your portrait. PDX Mesh Portrait. Hit apply. Once we have this set, now we'll have to do the UVs, how I was saying before. So hopefully this looks good. If not, it is what it is. It's a good test. First, let's go back here, object properties, and let's take away a wire and put texture. See how it's nice and black? It's because we don't have a UV, so go ahead and go to UV editing. Make sure everything's highlighted. If not, press A. Should highlight everything. If not, you always go right here, select all. So once we have that, go ahead and press U. Normally I would say use Smart UV Project, and we'll see if that works. Normally we have to rotate it. Click on anywhere, press A, rotate it. If it wants to work, something like that. And then always look at where your eyes or something that gives you a good marking to see exactly. So it should be around there. Everything's green, everything's extra space. Looks fine over here. It's a lot of space. All right, looks fine. What this is doing, if you remember before, this was black. Now when we go to layout, it's still gonna be black. But since we added right here in base color, since we added Stellaris' stuff, it already adds the shading of what we need. So hit open. For me, I have this turtle. I'll add this turtle stuff, exactly what I'm doing here to get you guys started. So before, so we got that. Let me just save it as test 2. All right. So I got this base. And if you notice, we don't have armatures and we don't have the object data properties. So click on one of the rigs. First click here to your base, your mesh. Control left click and click on that too, and then hit right click right here, and with automatic weights, see how the rig, this is how it should be. It goes under the rig now, turtle base. So now this should have the object data. This is what is one. There's a few of these are pretty much like the root, which we don't really want to touch those. So one of these is the root. If you were to highlight them, it'll pop up and say it's root, vertex group, yada yada. Those are the ones that are like the camera, pretty much for your animation. So I'm going to disable. First, I'm going to click on my turtle base again, right click it, parent. I'm going to remove it, clear the parent. I like to have it separate. The modifier, sorry, removed, good. Let's save. I'm going to copy this twice. Or since I don't have hair for this one, I just need it once. So I just need one more. And then I would create and make sure it's on turtle base 001. I name this turtle close. I'm gonna apply it. So now I'm gonna remove that. This one's black. So I don't really care. I could do the same thing, go to base color and add some type of texture just to give me emphasize that I'm just focusing on clothes. But I'll just add it right real quick. Once it's added, let's just name this turtle clothes. We got these two. So we gotta make sure we have armatures now for these. We could just click right here with the eye drop. You don't have to. You just click it and then whatnot. Honestly, match. Set the mesh order. We want the clothes to be bottom, which is good. Hopefully. So we got those. If I were to hit play with automatic weights, you see it's moving. So good. I'm going to go ahead and just test this out. It's not perfect. The weights are just wonky with the shifting and everything, just to see if it'll show up on Stellaris. If it is, good. I'm going to then delete my clothes and work on the base. Once this is like near perfection or something that's you like, then I'm going to copy again and paste it since I'll have the same weights already. What this does is just allows me to I mean, technically you don't need to, because this movement it's only for this. So technically, I don't have to do that since it's nice. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna do it. I'll just work with these two. So with these test 2A, I'll move ahead and go to 2B. I'll show you what I mean by that. So first we're gonna see if this works with these two, and then I'll explain a little further. So what you first want to do is make sure these two show your rig. Go ahead and save the mesh. So I'm gonna save my turtle mesh. Now I need to save the animation. Make sure this isn't in pose mode or you might get an error. So object mode. Go ahead and save it. You only need one idle animation or whatever animation. But since I already set it up to have 3 animations, I need to save it on 3 of them. Let me see. I don't even know if I saved them all on all 3. 3 and 2. Yeah. Okay, good. Same times. Save this just in case. Hit play on Stellaris. Make sure your mod is on. The mod. So this mod uses in place set. This one uses Reforged Turtle. And it goes off of Reforged Humanoid. So I keep two different mods. Alright, I'm gonna hit play. And hopefully it just, you see the image and it's just moving weird of the automatic weights. And that's fine. We're gonna change those. So when you do your meshes, you know, triangles and quads, get it finished. All right, so see the head, don't see the body. Oh, did I do that right? Close. Did I mean, I made the close, but I think portrait close. See, everything's all different. Let me just redo the close one more time. Okay, should be. Oh, for sure, yeah. And let me see if it works. If not, I might have to save the animations possibility. Base 01. That might be why. Nope. Okay, good. All right. So it was my close. Not sure what happened. Easy to make mistakes. All right, so here's the automatic weights. Looks funky. All right, works. Cool. Now I'm just gonna make it easier. I have this. Show me a 1. Do that 2. All right. Now for this one is the breathing. So let's work on that first. Weights. And then this one, pose. For this one's just a slow breathe. For my idle. First idle, I usually like just do something slow. And I'm gonna have to hit play and see which one's moving. Since this is different, where I landed this mesh and drew, it's not. Let me go back to object properties, take off in front, just in case. Let's see where all my pose, I want to see where all of these are. I'm gonna turn this one off. Yeah, it's not. This should be in front. Here we go. So make sure this one's in front for the rig. Save. Now we can see what we're doing. Okay. Back to weights. We're gonna watch this move. So that one's moving. Control left click right here. We are changing this. Change it to 0. This might breathe. Chest, usually when you breathe, it's actually, you're going up and down. I'm just going to get around this area, hopefully. So I'm just going to go edit mode. I'm not going to use this one, most likely. So I'm just going to have it help me out. Kind of see exactly where I want. That's fine. And then, okay, so this one still has go to 0. Make sure do the best you can. Now let's see. Yeah, I'm not too sure which one it was, but now it's cleared. I hit save. Now close, weights. So go to 1. This is reset mode. It's just easier to do weights. Just gonna go lightly. Maybe something like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. Kind of going a little too crazy. But if you stop it, a good spot, you can see the lump. You could either just add more to it and hope that this fixes it. Let's just say it does. And then go back to 1. Let's just get a big circle. I normally don't do something like this, but maybe now let's change the strength 0.5. I'm going to go 0.2.5, and I'm just going to get these lines. Something. See how it looks. Little stretch marks right here. I wonder if this is going to show up. So let's just give it some more. I have too much triangles. Maybe go back. It looks decent. Some stretches, but we don't know if it's actually going to do that. I'm going to just hit first. I'm going to save the mesh for right here. Object mode. Should let me save. Missing armature, okay. 1 turtle base, armature, rig, go to object, say mesh, chest R is targeting missing or excluded armature bone. That's probably why. Turtle base. I'm gonna try off the cloth. Just gonna change this. Pose. And it's not letting me draw. And I think that's why. Yeah, it should be. Oh, I have no strength. My mistake. Maybe that's why. One of them's missing something. Shouldn't be missing anything, to be honest. Guess ignore bones. Not too sure what happened to the mesh. Let's save. Test 2B. Not too sure. Let me just imagine I delete close or that and see if it allows me to save. No. Never seen this error before. It's missing excluded armature bone. Check all. Alright, let me try that. No. Unignore. Maybe that'll work. Oh. Whoa. Not too sure what happened. Actually, I just. What I can do is just parent it again. Parent. Automatic weights. And then just do the same. I'm just going to see if this works real quick. No. Well, I'm going to go back to 2A. Not too sure what happened right there. This one I could save. This one I could save. Or so I could save mesh. Not too sure what just happened. Might have deleted a pose or something. Or maybe yeah, I'm not too sure. Let's see. In front. Turtle base. Save this. Overwrite B. Retry again. Weight paint. Pose. Control left click this. Let me start my shortcuts. And I guess I'll restart again. So one thing, usually I know majority of these errors are. Don't know what that one is. Maybe I deleted one of these poses or bones. I'm not too sure what just happened. So but that's why it's good to save multiple times, get a good read. I'm just gonna do something simple real quick to see if, for me, changing this caused it to do something. No, saves just fine. Not too sure. I am going to use this, and then I'm going to go to wired. And I can actually see what's happening right here. Let's just say I wanted something like that. Something like this. And then not sure why this is going higher. So maybe something like that. Oh, too high. So 1.5. Then close. Copy this pose with Control C. I'm just going to do some little movements. See what that does right here for this location. I am also going to scale a little more. See how that is. And then I'm going to change the turtle. Go back to the object properties. Take off wire, textured. Then go to object mode. See how this looks. Doesn't look too bad. It's a good start. Hopefully this doesn't crash again. Yep, saving. Yeah, I'm not too sure what I did earlier. But it's really simple to do something like that. Make yourself an error that you just don't know what exactly what it is. So I probably did delete something. So once you get that, the face is just gonna be changing. All I'm doing is, I think I only did one layer or 1 second of that, which is fine. So the breathing is just gonna be erotic. See, oh, the head. All right, so close. This one's the one that's bad. I am just going to go to base, human base. Same one, it's the same thing from my previous PDX mesh material I already created for it. Oh, actually, that's the wrong one. Let me close. Close. There we go. Uh, not too sure. Not too sure. Oh, was it the base? Oh, my mistake. Maybe this is why. This is supposed to be turtle base, right? But I'm gonna just change it to PDX. These are all the materials from Stellaris's meshes. I never deleted anything for the materials. Let's see. Human base. These two should be fine. Let me save that. Oh, forgot I saved the mesh. That's probably why as well. And then saving the animations. Here, maybe clicking on the rig. 1, 2, 3. Animations just saves your position for the pose for the rig. But sometimes it could affect your animations if you just don't resave it again. About 65% of the time when you do it, it should be fine, but just on the safe side. And like I said before, it's a lot of testing, back and forth, back and forth. Yep, okay, it's back. You can kind of see some breathing. Looks like a little too much. Might leave it how it is right now. So a good start. I should scale a little downwards more, but it isn't too bad. Now the head. So let's do something about the head. Back to base. This is technically the head. Everything else is not going to be shown because of the clothes is on top of that layer. So for the head, and also for editing, you don't have to use my animations, but the ones that are moving, it's good to use those ones just for the fact that it won't ruin the camera angles and anything. So for example, how I made this scale, and then this is just regular ones. That's probably why. Let me copy these ones. Then Control V. And location rotations. Control V again. Just to make it. It's kind of weird how it goes like that, but. So I would, let me see. Or just do something like that. Oh, actually, I don't know what I'm doing. Let me go back. Control, left click on that one. I think. Yeah, that one. So even though I'm looking at this turtle base, this pose and all those moving up is also moving closed. I don't have to look at, even though these weights are different than these, it's still going to be this closed that we see. This won't hinder anything. Unless if it moves it upwards, closed needs to move upwards as well. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So first on turtle base, this weights doesn't mean nothing. We're not worried about it. We're just looking at the pose of it moving up and down. Because for this, it's doing something like that. So I'm seeing copy it, Control V back, press I, and then Control V, I can easily fix this later. Let's go tutorial. Let's move on to the headpiece again. So I have to find out which ones are moving. So this is like the chin or something. Yep, chin. So same thing, go to weights. This one, I am changing it to 0, strength to 1. I want to remove everything. Now, since I removed this, I need to do the same. Go to 1. This is just my chin. So, the edit mode. I'll move this right here. This one I'm not even using. I'm going to just use it as a guide. Go to weights, pose. Control left click on this. I am just going to move it be interesting to see if I can move this part of the mouth, something like that. I'm just going to go a little further in. Interesting what this does. Okay. And as you see, just seeing what I could do with this. Maybe I need some more. Something like that, right? Doesn't have to be perfect, but showing you what you can do just by moving. So I could put it inward. Make it extra long. And whatnot. But what this can do is help me see where I need to go. Back to 1. Let's get this spot. Oops. And go right here. And then I can press I. Oops. I just want to control copy it. I don't want it on 1. So right here, go back to 60. Right here. And this should be same as 0. If not, you can just copy and paste it. What's up? Freeze. And then some weird thing. There we go. And then it's back down. And now I gotta see what is doing that weird twisting. This one? Not sure if it's that one. Numpad 1 gets you back here. Let's see. Might be this one. Or it could be this one. Not too sure. So let me go to the weights. I'm gonna zero this. What I'm gonna do for this one is see where the head is. Pretty sure it was that one. 1, 2, and 3. This one. Maybe. Yeah, maybe this one. I do something like this. And then I gotta, one of these is just blinking. So I just gotta go to pose, see if it's this one. Yeah, it's probably this one. You can see it. These might be that one as well. These two. So what I'm gonna do is go back to the base, click on these two. Zero it out real quick. Oops. Do the same for that one. And then I'll use one of them for the eye. I don't care if they're moving pose. It's not going to hurt it. Now I got to see what is doing that. And I think it is this one. So since I have it, G is to move, R is to rotate, S is to scale it. So if I were to rotate this, you see the mouth is, there's a lot of movement, I think. So what I can do for this one is make sure it is 0.35, make the weights the same. Oops. R, rotate it a little bit. Let me copy that. I just do these for right now. And then you could, oops. Yeah, we'll see how it looks. Save mesh, female, animation, it's on object. So it's how you want to set these up. You could delete them, the poses. Don't have to use exactly what I'm doing. just keep the 1 because that's just normal. And then whatever you want to add or whatnot, just delete it. Remember to press I and then set your location, rotations, and scale. Unless it's like you're adding more properties, custom properties to it. Just use whatever. Just remember this is I that I'm pressing to enter your keyframe from the menu side. All right, I'm gonna see what this looks like. And now we're seeing some movement. You see a little animations from that blue. I could just remove a few. But you notice the mouth is actually moving and it's kind of turning now. A little breathing. Or I don't see any breathing actually. Oh, a little bit. There it goes. Just kind of like hanging. Not sure why it's hanging. So the breathing is not fully breathing. It's not really deflating. It's inflating. It's not deflating as fast as I want it, which that's not a problem. It's a good start. But essentially, this is how you would do animations. You just grab one of those poses, move it around. If I want, before I end this, how to make it jump, right? So if I were to go to the turtle base, right? If I click on this one, you know it's the head that's moving, right? So we do the same. This doesn't matter, right? You can do the whole thing. Make sure you get the whole thing. Close, do the same. Make sure you control left click on this one. Do the same, right? Now what this is doing is it's going to move the whole canvas. We want them to have the same weight so you have the same movement. But let's say you have weights right here, around here, are about the same 0.35. So we're going to have to use like maybe 0.65 for the jump. Or it's just going to stay the same. So, for example, and it just has to be the close for this. As long as this is moving, jumping up, this needs to be changed to show weight. So, I'll give you an example of why we do it. So if I were to move this, it just looks weird. Not too sure. Could be just from the, so just control click it and start brushing. See if this helps it. It's about the same. Normally I wouldn't brush this much, but I'm just seeing what it's doing. I have to go 1. Yeah. Yeah, it should be fine. So now if I were to, let's just say I use this, and I could just kind of bring this one down to maybe 20 frames. Let's just say I could just use G, move this a little down. Press I. And then maybe 40. I could just go back up a little. Press I. Right there. And then maybe I could just say tense 10 back to normal if it is normal. Should be. Nope, there we go. And let's say you don't like the flow. So over here you can press A on all of them. Just click on one of them. Press A. Right click it. And then we're going to have easing mode. Automatic easing. And see how it eases in. Oops, going backwards. So now it's easing much better. I could go further to 20 each frames. And then we get something like that, right? And then I could do something like that. Copy it. Go back to here. Copy this one. Go to 70. And then maybe 80. I'm just gonna put it right there. Copy 70 again. Yeah, I think it is. Let's see what this looks like. And maybe something like that is fine. Save my mesh. I'm not sure if I colored weights or not. Back to animation. Allow me to save. Okay, good. Don't have to do anything else. Hit save. Hit play. And that's how you use easing. Oops. Press A all. There's all sorts of tools you could use. So be friendly with them. Might help you like get your how it eases through or whatnot. So it's not really a like amazing jump or anything, but I'm just giving an example of what it's doing. See, the weights are way too heavy. You can't really see it on the blender, but you can see that that pull is way too heavy. So, but you see the animation. So what I would do be right. I would maybe go to 5. Do something like this. Go So 0.35. Maybe this will get fixed. Let's see how it looks with lighter. Yeah. And I didn't touch the animations, just the mesh. What I mean by that is I didn't change the pose or anything. I'm just messing with weights. Weights is just the mesh of how it's going to move. And this is already targeted to this one. So if it looks different of what you're drawing, like something like that, make sure you're just clicking back onto your drawing. It's a little better. That's why it's, oh no, it's terrible. All right. And the face is terrible. Let's see, why is this one moving wonky? It's kind of funny. So we might have to, on the base as well, we might have to add a little more weight over here, make it a little heavier. Not on, let's see, on the jumping one. Possibilities, something maybe. If not, go easy mode, automatic easing on those poses. Just click on all these. And I want them all to be automatic easing. Let's just see what that would fix it. When you click on all of them, you're seeing all your keyframes. So just left click and then press A. Save. Let me see if this is a little better. It's not going to change the weights though of that crazy from this one. Let's see. If I were to change it to 0.35 again. Let's say I just did that right. And let me change this one as well. To this won't change it in the game, but it's just for Blender. It might be the scale. Oh, yeah. That's what it is. It's the scaling. So, pretty sure I scaled on the pose. On this one, I'm pretty sure I scaled it. So, I think it's this one. Yeah, it's that one. So, I'm just going to move this I'm just gonna move it a little bit. Copy it. And then I'm gonna paste it. Right here. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. That should be breathe out. Then save my mesh again. It's not going to show up on this. I'll have to exit out, but let's see. Yeah, it has to be something like that. The scaling. Let's see. But that's how weights is just trial and error, seeing how heavy it is. Could also be from myself, from the weights, from going to weights and pose mode. Could just be from that one as well. So I did use a little green. I could just have it on 3.5. Maybe that might fix it. But that's what you run into when you have one mesh that's going to move this section, and then you have another, or one mesh pose of that weight that's moving this section upwards, and then you have the whole body moving upwards as well. So you'll have to fiddle around with those two to sync them in a way of maybe less weights here on this one. The lower it is, the less you move it. And then the higher, like the redder it gets, the more movement it does. So you'll have to like fiddle around with it. So I'm not sure how much damage it's going to do. Still a little that, so which doesn't look good. So it'll be back and forth just like that. I'll still go back to weights, pose, and just fiddle around with this. So I think maybe, so if I like this where it kind of does a little bit, I can just copy it and then paste it back again here. Now it's just going to be less. This is way too much, right? So find your middle ground where it changed something maybe. Copy it. Then Control V. Do the same. See if these are not too much. So let's see if that works, right? So turtle, and I changed the animations this time, or maybe I have the previous. So red, object, object, possibility I was messing with that as well from previously, so, and I forgot to just save the animations, and that too can play a part, because it's thinking that it's supposed to be heavy when you shift the to a more of lighter touch. So it's getting better, but it's just still, you can see too much. It's getting wonky, but it's getting better. So you just keep mitigating, slowly reducing the weight, slowly moving it up, and then you'll you'll get like your perfect balance. And it also depends on your mesh. I put too many triangles right here, and it's kind of showing a little. So, but you have those two posing going up and down. So, possibility I could do is the breathing, for example. So, this one goes all the way to, let's just say 100, right? So 100. What we can do for this one is remove 60 and we could say start this at 100 and something. So I want to copy this one, copy that pose, Control V, I, keep that rotation right here. And now it changes to maybe 40. Delete that. To 180 maybe. Or 160. Maybe have a deep breath. Something like that maybe. Save it. Animation. Just repeat the process and you'll get something. The jump is just a little too much. So now and this all depends on the weights. And this is mainly the issue right here, the little dent. So just a little maybe. I think that's just normal. Then it moves. Maybe that will get something close. And just rinse and repeat. You just do this and get your animations. close. Blender is going to be slightly off. It might look better or it might look worse on Blender. It's fine. Just hit play. That's really it that I have to offer. I'll give another part that gets it a little better. Not the animation, but some other tricks to get it. So it still is going way too high. So my weights. And then could be that this is right here. Neck breathing. This probably what's causing problems right here. This one I shouldn't be moving really. This one should be 0. For this one, don't need that. Don't need that one. Possibility, those are what's happening on close, maybe. Those are just usually when I cut them, they don't have the weights anymore for it. So possibility, see. What is moving? This one, that one. This one's it's nothing. This one's moving just fine. So it's just playing with your weights. And make sure you're on the rig. Save. It's a long process pretty much of just getting it right. Could be something simple that you just forgot to remove, and that just right there just makes it wonky. It could be also other things. So to me, to be mindful, see which ones are moving what, should it be touching that type of. I mean, other than that, one of them is messing with that. I just gotta see which one's kind of moving. And then let's see. Jump too much. It's a little too much, but you see it's getting better. The teeth looks okay. We can always have the mouth move downwards more too. So it's the up motion that's messing with this teeth. So it's getting better. So you just keep doing something like that, and eventually it's gonna be something similar to like her. I still have to finish the demon. The eyes are just somewhere right here is just getting jaggeded, so I'm gonna have to redo the eye part for her, and then just UV map it again. So anytime you mess with the images, anytime you mess with the images or any of the vertices in edit mode, you're gonna jack up the image. So anytime you add more to it, just know you have to go back to UV editing and do the same thing again. Make sure you're in edit mode. Make sure you're on your mesh and A, and then U, and then unwrap it or smart UV, whatever gives you the closest to your mesh, your vertices, then you're set. If you, like previously, if you have any issues with this, what you can do is go to object mode, and see, that's one problem. I put too many triangles. I should use some rectangles right here, especially right here. So that one's just gonna give me a little too much. It's gonna give me this type of motion, and that's not what I need. So, you know, it's just another lesson to learn. But that's also why I have the human female, that I could just use this part and then redo the head when it with necessary. So it's not too much of a loss of time. And I haven't even checked the eyes, see if it could blink decent. Either way, it's a good start. Other tool tips you could do would be to set that down. You could constantly change your UV. Just going by here, edit mode and whatnot. But if you mess with, like, for example, turtle clothes, and you changed the UV, let's just say I unwrapped it, right? Say I clicked it and then I moved it, something like this. Your clothes, you see how it's not aligned right for this one compared to this right in the center? That's what's going to happen. So you're going to have two different UV maps. They're not connected. Might be scaled higher, might be scaled less, and that's going to cause you issues. So I'm just going to Control Z, not stop until it gets fixed. All right. So make sure your UVs are matching. And that's how you get them where you want to be, unless you want to manually go into object mode and moving it over up and down, not matching the image or whatnot, getting it just right. It's going to take a longer time to do without just setting it right the first time with the UV maps. So, because if you mess with one UV map and then you do another, the scaling is going to be way off. What I mean by that is, you see where this scale is 1, 1, 1? Well, you might have to have 1 at 0.8, 0.9, 0.7 or something ridiculous. While this one might have scale 1.6, 1.3, and whatnot. So this is what scaling's doing, just to match it. So try to use one UV, get it all finished how you want to. If not, delete the clothes, start over with your base and add more, or go to edit mode and clicking on the ones that you just feel like you didn't do like so well on. Like for me, maybe I shouldn't have these triangles right here. So like right there, they're all like connected, and that's what's pulling too much. So maybe I should have used some quads instead. So I could just delete it, right? And then go back to PolyQuilt. And then let's just say, sometimes it does something weird, escape. And then Control Z back. Maybe I want to do something like this. Get one rectangle, and maybe get a quad right there. And then make a 4. This one might have to be, no, I could do something like that, right? It's not what I want, but what if I want something like this? Then I could just delete another mesh right here. That's delete too much, and so forth. Or I could just keep it how it is and keep playing with weights, which looks fine for the most part. It's just how you set it up in pose. So, but that's pretty much it. I'll see also if I forgot anything on my comments I wrote. So if, like for example, if you got that triangular and quad errors, the way you could tell is by save mesh. If this gives you a red error, and let's say it says quads and triangulars are too many, just remember, go to edit, just click on select box, hit select all by traits, and then faces by sides. Make sure that's greater than 4. Click on nothing, and then go back again. Greater than 4. If nothing pops up, or let's say this highlights, then you know that go back to PolyQuilt and make sure those lines match. Maybe I have to drag that one back to here or something. You get what I'm saying? So you might have to do something like that, where you're doing, something like that, and you're fixing the lines. So, I mean, you could also do something like this, but when you change these lines, and you see this, how it's like changing like blue and everything, it's the UV, because now you're stretching the UV, and it thinks that you purposely want the UV to be stretched. So make sure you go back to UV editing and do that. It's just easier to use this since you got all these tabs. So you got that. Pretty much this is the part 2 of the video. Instead of making another video, this is giving me additional information. And the layering part. So just in case, like I said, set your layers. Clothes is down. So this is going to have higher priority. This is going to be the top layer. So if I have hair, do I want it right here, like above the clothes? If I do, then clothes will be in the middle and the hair will be right here. But if I want hair behind the clothes, then it's going to be above the head, which is the base. So head, base, whatever, is usually always first. You want the head first, the clothes on top, and here either back or you can have it in the middle, which will make it where the hair will be behind the clothes. So if this is confusing, just mess around with your settings. And these are the settings that you got from the base, the clothes. And that's pretty much for part 2. If I do make a part 3, it'll be additional information of what I missed out. So hopefully you guys will be able to make your own mesh and get further down and see how the weights is. And after you get it like a basics down and you have a good mesh, you won't have as much problems. This was a good test tutorial, so stay tuned. Appreciate it.